Hi guys, welcome to another WonderHero video. This is a continuation of my video on Cersei is one of the most underrated support heroes. And recently, because of reading some chats in the WonderHero Discord and actually trying out what was suggested in the chat, I actually found that actually Cersei is one of the most OP support heroes ever actually. She's really OP if you know a certain way to use it. Before I proceed with the so-called the video on how to use Cersei to maximize her potential, I'm just gonna give credit to this guy in the Wonder Hero Discord. His name is Volkin. So I read this post and was like, really? Is she that good? And then I tried it out in game, and it turns out she was. So I'm gonna read it what he said in the Wonder Hero Discord. So the context of this is in that in the WonderHero Discord, there's a newbie section, right? So I'm just going to show you. So if you guys are interested, you can actually join the WonderHero Discord channel by going to the WonderHero main website, which is, I believe, let me show it, WonderHero main website here. And there should be, if you scroll down, there should be a Discord link. Let me just double check whether it's here. Info socials, yeah, there's one on Discord. So if you click on it, then it will direct you to join the Wonder Hero Discord link, right? And I already have it, so I'm already in. Then yeah, so correct. So you can join it off the main website, so you don't get scam to join like a scammer Discord channel or something like that. So go to wonderhero.io, scroll all the way down from their homepage, main homepage, and under the socials, they have their official Twitter, uh, no, they even have an official Telegram. They have a Facebook and um, a Discord. So if you so in the Discord section, the most active section for discussions is actually the newbie section. So I've actually no, I was just happening to read some of the newbie section, and then this guy they were just talking about hero builds. I think they were trying to advise a new guy, a new a new user, a new player on hero builds, and Volkin actually mentioned that he said Cersei is so overlooked that 3-star weapon is straight up broken. So I'm add some context. Leave her on her own for 5 turns, and she's tanky AF, which is tanky as fuck. And then just stand her next to attacker and get like 900 attack buff. Stack with Celeste, how her ultimate does more damage the longer the battle goes. Plus that 50% increase from Cersei's ult, and it's GG. It's good game. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how that actually plays out in game. So let's go to in game, and I'm gonna show an easier quest. Right now I'm stuck at 1010 figuring out how to clear it. There probably has to be more. I probably have to upgrade my heroes more, get more specific strategy, because 1010 the boss does have certain ways of attack, certain patterns of attack. So I'm gonna show an easier chapter, maybe like chapter 9, right? Chapter 9, one of the easier ones will be 9-1. I think it's a lot easier. And to showcase her abilities, maybe what I want to do is let's just play with 3 heroes, right? Maybe just 1 DPS. Should I just put okay? Just to show it, maybe I just put a Celeste as his example, because let's if you look at Celeste, what Celeste does very good is that she actually adds DPS by herself. So if you look at the skill, this is her ultimate. So her ultimate, the passive gives her, if her hit points above 50, increase her attack by 100, and it will last for 2 turns, stack at most twice, correct? So basically, Celeste actually gets 200 attack damage after 2 turns as her passive, and also her ultimate actually does more damage the longer it goes, the longer that particular chapter goes. So deals 10% more damage each turn. So this ultimate, if you play this ultimate in turn 10, it actually doubles the damage because it's 10% times 10, so it's actually 200. So technically, it's 200% damage from the ultimate at turn 10. If it's at turn 5, then it's 150% damage because it adds 10% damage each turn. For 5 turn, you add 50% damage. So if the target survives, do additional 100%. So basically, it's a 2-hit ultimate for Celeste. The first hit will do more damage after each turn. And the second hit also deals 10% more damage each turn. So basically, the longer that particular chapter goes, which at the maximum is 20 turns, the more damage Celeste ultimate will do. And you add that with, if you look at Cersei, so Cersei's ultimate skill reduces allies' ultimate cooldown by 2, increases their ultimate effect by 50% for 3 turns, stacks up to 3 times. So basically, you add another 50% onto Celeste's damage. So let's say if it's turn 10, Celeste has 200% damage on her ultimate, you add another 50% on top of the 200%, so actually becomes like 300% damage on Celeste's ultimate when you cast this time fluctuation ultimate right before Celeste casts her ultimate. And let's see how this plays in game. So I'm gonna show it and line up. So I'm gonna put a healer in here because I don't think I can survive this chapter without a healer. But you can see that how Cersei is able to buff both the healer and the DPS. So I'm only going to have one DPS, one support, and one healer. So only Celeste is going to be doing the DPS here. So the key, so I have to disable the auto here. Instantly they get stuck. Okay, so let's see how this plays out. First and foremost, you need to get Cersei out of the range. That means get her allies out of Cersei's buff range. So you want all the allies out of Cersei's buff range so that Cersei will actually buff herself. So let's see how her 3-star weapon actually works. So basically, her 3-star weapon, I've upgraded this to, I believe, level 4, modified it to level 4. So at level 4, increases the nearby allies attack by 115. If it's at modification level 1, right, it only increases by 100. Maximum of 7 stacks. If it's at level 1, only maximum of 5 stacks, I believe. So nearer ally is preferentially selected. If there's no ally nearby, increases Cersei defense by 130, maximum of 5 stacks. So if it's a modification level 1, I believe it increases Cersei defense by 110. So the numbers don't change a lot, but this is the secret sauce here, right? For each stack of defense that Cersei has, it will increase the ally attack by 1 stack. So what this means is that if right now Cersei has 5 stacks of defense, like imagine if this is turn 6 or turn 7, right? Cersei has 5 stacks of defense on her, then which means that, let's bring out a calculator. So it's 130, right? Right now I'm modification level 4 or 5 and multiply by 5. So that means she has 650 additional defense on her. So if the enemy does like 700 damage, right? They're only going to damage Cersei by 50 damage, which is a lot of damage reduction. And this defense, I believe it's reduces physical damage because it is just generally just defense by itself. So I think it reduces physical damage. Maybe elemental, I'm not super sure, but I don't think it reduces true damage. So she has 650 points of defense. And then you bring her next to an ally on the following turn. She will buff the ally for 6 stacks of attack. So because if you read how it works, basically for every stack of defense that Cersei has, it will increase the ally attack by 1 stack. So you add that to the first part of her so-called her weapon skill, which increases nearby random allies attack by 115, which is 1 stack. So this is 1 stack, right? But if she already has 5 stacks of defense, she will increase 1 plus additional 5 stacks. So she will increase the attack of the ally by 6 stacks just in that single turn. So how much attack is 6 stacks? 115 in this case, 115 multiplied by 6. So she will increase the allies attack by a whole 690 attack. 690 attack. To put in perspective, my Cersei is now level 57. She only has 416 attack. If you increase another additional ally by 600, almost 700 attack, that's almost like double of like you almost triple the character's attack, right? So for context, right now, let's check out my Celeste. My Celeste, after increasing her attack by 200, she has 937. If you increase this by 690, it will be 937 it will go up to 1627 attack. So that is a huge buff, right? Huge buff. So let's see how this actually plays out. The strategy has so it depends on the chapter as well. On certain chapters, I find that it's not too good because there are certain heroes, certain enemies, right, that can actually damage your heroes from far away. In particular, in chapter, I believe 9, this chapter 9, right? In chapter 10, there are certain bazooka enemies or artillery enemies that will damage your Cersei from far, far away. So because if your Cersei is isolated, she doesn't get any heals, and even though her defense is being buffed, if she continually gets worn down by the artillery enemies, she will die off even before the 5 turns or 6 turns are up. So it only works in certain maps whereby your allies, your Cersei doesn't get damaged from long range. Like in this case, in this particular so-called chapter as well, some of the enemies have pretty long range. Like if they move downwards, they will be able to hit my Cersei. So not ideal, but I think my Cersei can survive this, and let's just play this out. So you can see she buffs her defense by 1. So meanwhile, I just send my DPS as well as my healer away from my Cersei and just let them fight the enemies there. So right now, 1 stack increases by 130, so her defense goes to 286. I'm gonna increase it by another stack here. Okay. So that's 2 stacks of defense on Cersei. Okay, so this helps her to survive as well. Cersei has additional passive. So this passive is passive skill. When an enemy approaches Cersei, right, Cersei triggers a defense barrier dealing a certain amount of damage, 50 plus 120% elemental damage to the random enemy and rooting them and disarming them for 1 turn. But this only triggers twice, right? So but this passive defensive skill actually helps Cersei to survive a little bit. So she disarms this enemy, and this enemy cannot attack her for the following turn. But this enemy still can. So we will do... Okay, so here. So there's 3 stacks of defense on Cersei. So the max is 5 stacks, right? Let's see if we can bring Cersei up to 5 stacks of defense. Now she has 3, as indicated by the number 3 here. So it's 390. I can see she is already somewhat quite tanky at 390. Let's see how much damage this enemy does to her. 195, right? And 90 damage. You can see that our 2 heroes here actually get damaged by 400 plus from the enemy. And Cersei only took like 100 plus 120 and then 90 damage from that shot. She has 4 stacks. Let's try and last for 1 more turn. So now she has 5 stacks. So that's full. Okay, so that's full 5 stacks. I cannot go over this ice patch because my hero will get frozen. So I'm gonna bring Cersei over. So this is in range, right, of buffing Celeste. And then I'm gonna cast the ultimate as well. Okay, so once I press action, I think Cersei will give the buff to Celeste. So for record purposes, right now, Celeste has 847 attack, right? Let's see how much damage she gets after the buff. So 847. Now, let's check out Celeste. 1627. So from 800 plus, it doubled because there's an increase in the attack by 690, which is increase of 6 stacks of 130 each. Because Cersei gives, in my version here, Cersei gives 115 per stack, then it gives 6 stacks. So it's not even the max, right? The max is 7 stacks. So if I leave my Celeste in the range of Cersei for another turn, she'll get buffed to 7 stacks, so that's even more attack. But let's see how much damage this ultimate does now. So it's now turn 8 with 1627 attack on my Celeste. Let's cast the ultimate. 4575. The enemy couldn't even survive that first hit. So her ultimate hits twice, so it's 4575 and another 4575. So it's close to 10k damage, right? It's 9k, yeah, technically it's 9000 damage, but it's close to 10k damage there. And I think here we can also give the buff to our healer. So for healers, right, such as Ling and Nightingale, they will actually do more heal the higher their attack value. So right now, my Ling has 609, and that's before she gets any buff from Cersei. So let's see if she gets a buff. So she gets a buff from Cersei, and now she heals for 764 in an AoE. So she heals everyone for 764. Because now, after the buff of 690 damage, her attack has gone up to 1299. And if you look at her weapon description, heals on nearby allies for 35 plus 52% of the caster's attack. So the higher the caster's attack, the more she will heal. And she heals a ton now, right? So let's see how much damage my Celeste will do. Celeste has 1307 because her attack buff actually will go down by 1 every time she attacks an enemy. So she has I think she started at like 6 stacks. Now she drops to 2 because maybe it's 2 hits, right? She actually, because she casts her ultimate twice, so with 2 hits she actually, her buff goes down by 2. But if we get Cersei to buff her here, it will be 7 stacks of attack. Yep. And a single hit is 1880, so close to 2k damage on a Cersei with a single hit. The unfortunate thing about going from chapter to chapter is that all the stacks of Celeste will get, all the defensive stacks on Cersei will get reset, so you have to do this again when you go to phase 2 of the chapter, which we have to do. So I'm gonna try again here. So we're gonna put Cersei in a corner of the map and then make sure that all the allies are out of her buff range, which is the range highlighted in blue here. The alternative, okay, they are targeting my Cersei, right? So the alternative I wanted to say is that you could actually keep your heroes back and have Cersei, right, go all the way to the front. But Cersei isn't very mobile, so basically you can put Cersei in the front line as a tank because she gets her defense up every turn, right? But also you run the risk of your Cersei dying because you have to put her away from the healer for the whole of 5 turns. Because if you put it in range of a healer, she will actually buff the healer instead of buffing herself. So those are the strategies. One strategy you can have Cersei go to the front lines, and the other strategy you can keep Cersei in the corner of the map. So the enemy is attacking her, she's fine, she's gonna survive. So you can see that my Ling normally only heals for 300 plus damage, right? But after the buff from Cersei in the previous chapter, she heals for more than double, right? 700 plus. So still gonna leave her in the corner. That should be 4 stacks. Okay. I don't know whether my Celeste can survive here. Hopefully she can. Okay, Cersei should have 5 stacks of defense there. Okay, Celeste has survived. Oh no, she doesn't. Ah. Okay, so I think this is GG. So I have to actually restart this. So this is a boo-boo here. So once my DPS dies, this is the only DPS I have. I have to actually reset this. So this strategy is not perfect, but that is the full potential of Cersei. Let me try this again, right? Okay, this time I'm gonna put Cersei in the front lines and let her tank it up.
実践も勉強ですよね。
Cersei in the front lines. Okay, let them hit her. It's
償い
fine.
真の魔法をお
Still
見せしま
really out of her buff range.
一刻
Okay.
も早く。
Okay.
実践も勉強ですよ
Okay.
ね。
So she's occupying the enemies on top here. Which is okay. As long as she's out of the
真の魔
buff
法をお見せ
range.
します。
This is 3 buff, 3 defensive stacks. So you have to go to turn 6 before she get the full 5 defensive stacks.
真の魔法をお見せします。
Okay.
真の魔法をお見せします。
Let's just say cast her ultimate.
これが私の魔法です。私の出番？
Should get a
償い
buff
なさい。
soon. Okay, so she buffs Celeste. So now our Celeste has
償いな
how much
さい。
damage? 1663, right? Only 5 stacks. Yeah, because she hit the enemy once. So how this buff works is that whenever our hero hits an enemy, you lose 1 stack of attack buff. So initially it was 6 stacks when she cast it, but after hitting and killing the enemy, she's now down to 5 stacks.
いきま
So should I cast the
一刻も
ultimate
早く。
there? No. Let's kill this
私の
first.
出番？
I want to get Ling to get a buff. Okay, she buffs my Ling. So now my Ling will heal for 700 plus instead of 300 plus.
す。一刻も早く。
Let's
真
let
の魔
her
法をお
buff
見
the
せしま
Ling
す。
again. Heals for another 800 plus. So the good thing about healers is that because they're not attacking, right? Because what they're doing is heal, they will actually not lose any of this attack stacks. So Ling will not lose any of her 7 stacks of attack buff, which is 805 damage of attack buff. So it buffs all her damage from, I think it was at 600 plus, so it buffs all the way to 1004. She will not lose this unless she casts the ultimate, because the ultimate is an attack skill. So if she casts the ultimate here, then she will lose 1 stack. If not, she
償
won't
い
lose
な
any.
さい。
Let's
実践も勉強ですよね。私の出番？償いなさ
let's just cast
い。
Celeste
これが
ultimate there.
私の裁きよ。
2000 plus, 2000 plus, 2005. Okay, that instant kill as well. Okay, now let's try doing this by putting Cersei in
一刻も早
front,
く。
right?
いきま私の出番？償い。一刻も。私の実践も
So
勉強ですよ
Cersei's
ね。
buff range it
私の
is.
出
So
発
let
射し
me
ま
cast that
番？よろし
ultimate.
くね。
And it will disarm that guy for 2 turns. 1 turn, I think. Okay.
実践も
Cersei
勉
in
強
the
ですよ
front.
ね。一刻も早く。実践も
It's
勉強
out
ですよ。
of her buff range. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so she disarms. This
真の
is
魔法をお見せ
fine.
し
It
ます。
is out of the
償いな
enemy's
さい。
range. Get to this. So hopefully they're gonna attack Cersei instead of my Celeste, so that my Celeste can survive.
実践も
So
勉強ですよ
close.
ね。償い。実践も勉強
That
です
is
よね。
really
一刻も
close.
早く。
Okay, let me
私の
put
出
it
番？
out of
実
range
践も
of
勉強
damage.
ですよね。
Okay, okay. So she doesn't get hit.
実践
How
も
many
勉強ですよね。
stacks? Here, 4 stacks. I think this is really risky, so I am gonna put it her into range here and have my Cersei start buffing
私の魔法です。
the healer. So I'm gonna have her buff Ling.
実践も真の魔
She's
法を
most
お
likely
見
to
せし
buff
ます。
Ling here because Ling is directly below her.
実践
So
も
how
勉強ですよ
Cersei's
ね。
buff works is that she usually will buff the heroes or allied heroes which are like the immediate squares up, down, left, and right from her. And then after which she will also buff the heroes 2 squares up, down, left, and right from her. And then her last priority is to buff the heroes on her diagonals. Apparently this is how it works, but Okay,
一刻も
so
実践
I'm
も
gonna
勉強で
buff
私の出番
Ling, and I
償いな
am
さい
gonna cast the Celeste ultimate here. Should I wait for one
私の
more
出
turn? I think I
番
can.
ええ
Because she's gonna buff Ling, and Ling is gonna heal Celeste for, okay, so close to 700. So Celeste will survive. Ooh, that's really close. Okay, I'm gonna cast
発射
Ling's
しま
ultimate
ー
here.
すよろしくね償い
Okay,
なさい
and
償いなさい
she
行きま
should survive.
ええ
Oh, she's still buffing Celeste. No, she's still buffing Ling. I actually want her to buff my Celeste. So I have to put Ling further away,
実践も
probably
勉
like
強ですよ
this.
ね
So in this position, I think she will buff Celeste instead.
ええ
Yeah, so she buffs Celeste. Okay, so that's why Celeste hits for 1005. And if you check her
償い
damage,
なさ
yep, it goes up to 1297. So this is 4 stacks. Originally 5 stacks, but she uses 1 stack in the attack, and now the following attack does almost 2k damage, right? And kills off that last enemy there. Okay, so yep, that's the end of this video. So hope this gives you some tips on how to use Cersei, and maybe at last let's see how much it costs, right, to purchase Cersei from the market now. Because she's really cheap. I think she's relatively cheap. And imagine that it's a 3-star weapon, right? So Cersei at the floor right now, her skins cost 9 USDT. 9 USDT, right? Super duper cheap. Obviously, since it's so cheap, maybe you want to get a golden one, a 4-star skins, because this gives higher hit points, make her more tanky, just spending a few extra dollars. This is also much better, like 12 USDT gives 720 hit points compared to the floor one, which only gives 440 hit points. You might even want to look for like all these are decently not bad. Still 3-star, but already upgraded to level 3, 728 hit points, and so on. So you want to look for something as much hit points as you can. This is looks nice, but not great. Only gives 600 hit points for 19 USDT. This one is looks nice, but not that great as well. But basically, you want to look for a skin which is relatively cheap and also gives as much hit points and armor as possible, and that's for a Cersei skin. And if you look at Cersei's 3-star weapon, it's at 5 USDT. 5 USDT. So for her weapon, the weapon level doesn't matter. What's important is the modification level, because you can see that this is modification level 1, right? Increases a random nearby ally's attack by 100, and max 5 stacks, near ally is selected. So if there's no ally nearby, increases the defense by 100, maximum of 5 stacks. So when you modify this weapon with your horn and at higher levels, we add in WND as well, this value, the ally attack buff will go up, the Cersei's defense buff will also go up, the numerical value will go up, the stack value will go up as well. So at modification level 1 is only 5 stacks, but if you look at my game here, let's return to the main
真の
screen,
魔法をお見せします
go to hero, and my magic node is now at modification level 4. So at modification level 4, it already gives 115 damage buff, and you can stack up to 7 stacks instead of level 1 at 5 stacks. And then if for defense, it goes up by 130 each stack, but at level 1 it only goes by 100. So for the magic node for Cersei's 3-star weapon right now is super cheap. The floor is at 5 USDT. Basically, it's the lowest price you can expect. Because in the market, the lowest price you can list something for in the market is for 5 USDT. And this attack value as well as the crit damage all doesn't matter, because this weapon is a pure buff weapon. So it doesn't damage the enemy, so the attack damage doesn't matter at all. If you can look for something that has higher modification level, it might be worth it. Like this is actually better, right? So somebody has tried to level this up. I think he wasted some horn there. He leveled the weapon level 3, and modification level is level 2. So he actually wasted horn trying to level up the weapon level, but it doesn't do anything to the weapon skill. Only the modification level improves the weapon skill. So you want to look for an item. So this is 5 USDT already at modification level 2, And once you purchase this, you have to spend, you can increase its effectiveness by spending more horn and WND to upgrade the modification level as well. So it's really cheap, 5 USDT for like almost like 7 to 800 damage buff to your allies if you can play it to the conditions that I demonstrated earlier. So the rest of everything in the market is all modification level 1. Yeah, all modification level 1. So you can just buy the super cheap one at 5 USDT at either modification level 1 or level 2, and then you spend your horn and the WND to upgrade it further. And you can get yourself one of the, I believe this is one of the most OP support hero, right? This is a 3-star weapon. So technically a 3-star weapon is by using it this way, it's actually more OP than her 4-star or her 5-star weapon. Her 5-star weapon now costs like 100 USD and only increases nearby allies for 20%. And this stacks at most twice. So you only increase the nearby allies attack for 40% for 2 turns, right? This is her 5-star weapon, which costs like 900 USDT. But if you use a 3-star weapon in the way that I described, it increases by way more than 40%. So because if you look at my Celeste, right? Look at my stats. So my Celeste has a total combined attack of 647. And earlier I mentioned that the damage buff, right, can the damage can go up to 1627. So 1627 is way more than 40% of 647. Oh, sorry, because the Celeste in game was, so in game Celeste goes up to 937 damage with her various buffs. Then you plus 690 on it. So 690 plus 937, I think that's like 70% damage buff. So that's a 70% damage buff. So that makes it better than her 5-star weapon, which is in the people are charging like 100 USDT for that weapon in the market, right? So you can actually just ignore all the 5-star weapons, just buy her basic 3-star weapon for 5 USDT and the skin for like 15 or 10 USDT. So that's like 20 USDT for a Celeste hero and a skin, and you get the most OP support hero in the game. So thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time.